Hello and welcome to the Facebook for Business training from Maple Organics. My name is Karen Clark and I'm your social media trainer. Today we're going to talk about how to maximize Facebook for your Maple Organics business. On Facebook, there are basically three places that you might want to do business. One would be within your personal profile, the next would be using a business page, and the third might be within a Facebook group. Let's go over each of these. Although your personal profile or timeline is not to be used primarily for business, in fact, it's against Facebook's rules to use a personal profile as a business, there are ways that you can set it up so that it'll be business friendly. And of course, some of the friends you meet on Facebook, or maybe that you know already, might get curious about your business as well. So you want to make sure you do mention it in your About section. Let me show you. So if you think about your personal profile as being like your home on Facebook, it's where you share the things that are important to you. You get to decorate it the way you want. You welcome people into your home that you choose to have into your home. That's like people friending you on Facebook. But even before they friend you, they're going to be able to find some information out about you through your About tab. So under here, we're going to check on this About tab here. Now, I'm not a Maple Organics representative, but just pretend with me here. You're going to see an overview, maybe your education and your contact information. Now, what I recommend is that you make anything that's related to your business public so that even before somebody friends you, or maybe they just come across you in a Facebook group or something, they can find out more about you. To do that, let's first click on the Work and Education tab over here. You can add a workplace as a business page, which I'll show you in a minute, but over here where you see options, you can click on Edit to make sure it's public. That way somebody can see your work even if they're not your Facebook friend. Now let's click on the Contact and Basic Info. I always recommend you have at least one public way that people can contact you, either a phone number or an email address, or even your website. Again, edit it to make sure it's public. If you're not comfortable sharing your personal phone number, you can always create a Google Voice number, or with email, you can always create a free Gmail account just to use for social media. Now let's click on this Details About You section. In this section, you get to add a description about yourself. This is a great place to add information about what you do for Maple Organics. Again, your personal timeline is not a place to do business. You're not going to want to sell on it, but you can certainly talk about your business because it's a big part of your life. So add a good paragraph with some keywords. In fact, you'll see I've added some location words to my description. That way anybody searching for what I do in my local area might be able to find me based on those words in my profile. Let's go back to the timeline. You might want to edit this short info area to reflect something about your Maple Organics business as well. Another thing I'd like you to be aware of is on your personal timeline, when you do post something, by default, the privacy is usually just visible to friends. Of course, even though I've said your profile can't be used primarily for business, your Maple Organics business is a part of your life. It's certainly okay to share about things that you're doing or places you're going that are related to your business, or even some general information that's not selling in nature. When you are posting something that's about your business in some way, go ahead and make it public. That way it'll be searchable in the search engines, and anybody who's not your friend, if they get curious about you and click on your name somewhere, they'd be able to see those public posts. Now be aware that when you're out on the news feed on Facebook, anything that you comment or like, if it's marked public, can be visible to your personal network. So for you, posting something public is great. It gives you exposure to your friends' networks. But be aware that if you're posting, commenting, or liking on something that might be a little bit controversial, it might actually be visible to people if it's marked public. So just be aware of that, because going back to the first training when we talked about how you're always a reflection of your business, you just want to be choosy. So now let's talk about Facebook groups. A Facebook group is like a closed community, kind of like a club that you can have on Facebook. If you're a leader in sponsoring new Maple Organics representatives, you might create a group to offer support and training to your team. Some people also like to create groups to have for their what we call VIP customers, where you can offer customer service and education. Since Facebook groups are at this time mostly administered by personal profiles, you want to be careful not to be too salesy within a group. If you do create a business page group, then anything goes. One of the best benefits of using Facebook groups is actually to participate in other people's groups. Let me show you. Over here on the left side of your news feed, find the tab that's called Groups. Here you'll be able to see groups that you already belong to on this Groups tab, or to discover groups that you might be interested in. There are main topics at the top that you can scroll through, or you can simply look down here. Facebook will usually suggest groups to you that you already have friends who are members of. What's great about networking in Facebook groups is you get exposure to other people in your local community or who have a shared interest. You can only participate in other people's groups as your personal profile, so you don't want to be salesy, but it's a great way to get to know other people who can then click over to your profile and find out more about you. One of the best things you can do is use Facebook search to find a group in your local area. So I've typed in groups about San Francisco. Let's say I want to market a little bit more in the San Francisco area. I'm kind of in the suburbs here, so I can search on that. Here you'll see some suggestions of groups that I might want to join. What I do is I look for groups with the most people or who seem to have the most activity. As I'm scrolling through, I can look at the topics that the groups are about and find something that's of interest to me that I might be able to contribute to. So for example, here's one called San Francisco Vendors. I can read a little bit about the description and just click on the title to find out more about it. If I were a Maple Organics representative, this might look like a good group that I can use to talk about the products or things that I want to get involved in my community. I would then join the group and then follow the protocol within the group for commenting or posting about my business. Another way to use groups is to just search for groups about direct selling or home-based businesses. This might help you find others who are looking to connect to home-based business products or a new opportunity. So if I search on groups about direct selling, I can find lots of groups where people are discussing different opportunities and products. Read the descriptions and decide which ones you might want to join. Always follow the rules of the group administrator as to whether or not they let you promote your business or if it's just mostly for discussion and helping each other. And now we're going to move on to business pages. This is my favorite place to play on Facebook, primarily because it's designed for business, and it can actually help you get found in the search engines if you have a business page. It's completely free to set up, and if your personal profile is like your home and your group is like your club, your business page is like your storefront. It's designed for you to get business and to market yourself. It's customizable, it's public, it's Googleable, and it's a great way to have a professional presence on Facebook. And remember when we were talking about the personal timeline? If you have a business page on Facebook, you can list your business page as your employer. That makes it easy for people on your personal profile to click right over to your business. Let me show you some of the other features. So you'll see on mine that I have a lot of custom tabs that you can get on the side. This is under the Edit Page area of your settings. But as I mentioned, one of the best features of using a business page is its Googleability. So let's click on the About tab. You'll see that you have a lot of room to write a lot of words that could be found in the search engines. Make sure that when you create your page, you describe your products, your mission, your opportunity, maybe your why story, your location words, and anything like that that people might want to search on. Also, your posts themselves, since your page is public, are Googleable as well. So if you think about what kinds of questions do people ask related to your Maple Organics business or products or skincare and those kinds of things, what would they be typing into the search engines that you could then address in one of your posts? Each individual post can be a new hit in the search engines, so I highly recommend you use that feature. And like I mentioned, you can list your business page as an employer on your personal profile. Just click on the Work and Education tab on your personal profile, click on Add a Workplace, and then enter in the title of your business page. To create a business page, go to facebook.com/business and click on the button that says Create a Page. Facebook will walk you through the process of creating it and then inviting your contacts to like your page. In another video training, we'll go over what to actually start posting on your business page, your personal profile, or in your groups. This has been your Facebook for Business training from Maple Organics. I'm Karen Clark. Bye-bye.